Company, of course, has changed its name. YouTube, Xumo, Pluto, and Smart TV. Yeah, right, Oddity.
Newsmax app on your phone.
Odyssey, actually, yes.
Watch Newsmax TV's.
Okay, and so we have a new intro here, which is incomplete. But that's all we've got.
Chewable tablets can help.
And a different close also. So I've let them know that we need more work on this stuff, and we'll probably have that by next week.
Visit BlueChew.com for details and safety information. Use the promo code BETTER and receive the first month of your active plan free. That's BlueChew.com, promo code BETTER.
So many disappointed brides and grooms in the last year. Wedding season is coming up again.
Jamie Bird speaks for many soon-to-be brides planning for their special day.
And then just with COVID, it's even more stressful.
Insiders say they have seen a pickup in the wedding industry despite COVID-19.
I think that people will be ready to celebrate, and when you can safely have numbers, I think that we will see the larger weddings bounce back very quickly.
Randy Slick is a wedding events planner in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
WWL First News. I'm Tom Perumian on your official weather station. WWL AM, FM, and .com.
A cool start through the morning, but by the afternoon for Easter Sunday, it is going to be beautiful. Highs around 74 to 75 and lots of sunshine.
Your local weather expert, WWL TV meteorologist Peyton Malone, will be along with your full weather forecast. The search is on for a missing boy this morning. WWL TV's Paul Dudley has the latest.
State police are asking for your help to find a missing child. 4-year-old Alec Brown was last seen on Highway 1 in Raceland yesterday with his father, Luke Brown, who apparently does not have custody. The Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office believes the child is in danger. He's about 3 feet tall with brown hair and brown eyes and was last seen wearing a red shirt, gray shorts, and blue light-up sneakers. Luke Brown is about 5'11", also with brown hair and brown eyes. Police think he's driving a 2008 black Cadillac with the license plate 653EGC. If you see Alec or Luke Brown or spot that car, call 911 immediately.
Jefferson Parish is pushing ahead with a pandemic recovery program. We get the story from WWL TV's Devin Bartolotta.
The Jefferson Parish Economic Development Commission recently released its plan to help the parish recover after the pandemic. Jefferson Edge 2025 is a roadmap to provide economic development over the next 4 years. The plan looks at 3 guiding principles. The first is resiliency. Leaders want to have an economy that's more sustainable. The second is social equity and looking at ways to help more minority businesses thrive. The third is competitiveness, or figuring out ways to attract talent and promote economic growth for business in Jefferson Parish.
Now here's Mark Menard and WWL Sports.
Looking to avoid getting swept in their 3-game series against Vanderbilt, LSU finally got the bats going at the box yesterday.
2-2 pitch, hit high to left center field, giving chases Bradfield. Bradfield going to the wall, it's gone! And the Tigers have their first lead in the series on a solo shot. Just right at the Tabasco bottle in center field. Dugas with the hammer, 1-0 Tigers.
Unfortunately for the Tigers, they still came up short, losing 5-4 to the Commodores and going 0-3 over the weekend. The loss puts LSU at 17-11 overall and 1-8 in the SEC. They're back in action Tuesday, hosting McNeese at the box. The NCAA Men's Basketball Championship is set after yesterday's Final Four action. Saw Baylor trounce Houston 78-59, and Gonzaga, the tournament's top-ranked team, survive in overtime, beating UCLA 93-90 on a buzzer beater. And the injury-riddled Pelicans are back on the floor tonight. They hit the road for a 7 o'clock tip in Houston against the Rockets. I'm Mark Menard, WWL Sports.
Now the forecast from your local weather expert, WWL TV meteorologist Peyton Malone.
Going to be a nice Easter Sunday. High temperatures eventually get to around 74 to 75 degrees. That's right where we should be this time of year, and we'll have lots of sunshine. Heading into tonight, going to be cool, but not too cold. About 48 on the North Shore, 56 on the South Shore. Monday, even warmer under mostly sunny skies, highs around 77. By Tuesday, we will hit 80 degrees, it looks like, and moisture returns. So we've thrown in a 20% chance of rain on Tuesday. We'll bump that up to about a 30 to 40% chance of showers on Wednesday and going into Wednesday night. Heading into Thursday, still warm and humid, about a 40% chance of showers, and we'll stay warm and humid on Friday as well with a few showers. From your local weather expert forecast center, I'm WWL TV meteorologist Peyton Malone.
And I'm Tom Perumian, WWL First News.
From WWL, the news talk sports powerhouse of the Gulf South, it's All Things Legal with Doug Sunseri and Albert Nico.
Here we go.
Underwritten by Nico and Sunseri Law Firm. Call or text 504-260-1870 or join us anytime, anywhere on the Odyssey app. Now, to our Jefferson Financial Federal Credit Union studios in the heart of New Orleans, here are attorneys Albert Nico and Doug Sunseri.
Hey, good morning, Doug Sunseri, Michelle Demarest Sunseri. All things legal. A wonderful and beautiful happy Easter. We got my wife and law partner and glue to the family who is running around making Easter preparations and doing a radio show at the same time. Michelle, thank you for thank you for today.
You're welcome.
You're like, who was that figure, that the little lady with 10 arms who runs around?
I don't know, but I feel like that sometimes.
Getting ready. So we got crawfish being delivered, and all in the midst of this. So happy Easter. Like for the Christian religion, Easter's the biggie.
Easter is the biggie.
I mean, Christmas is big, but Easter's big.
Yeah, Easter's
a little bit bigger. That's number one there. So, most of the other religions, the difference is, now I'm just talking theologically,
okay,
that most of the other prophets in other religions stay in the ground.
They do stay. I think
they don't get out. All of them. So that's the difference. I'm not going to get into people. So most people are going to church this morning, or
I would think so, or watching online.
Yeah, so they're okay with me saying that. Yeah. So so happy Easter. Is a beautiful day. Oh man, it's beautiful.
It
so
is.
as we're looking out our window in suburban Mandeville.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we are. So, but we'll talk. I guess we'll talk a little bit. I'll talk a little bit about continuing tutorships.
Okay.
A little later, but we have to do sports, and when we were out, we do our little workout, and I had the LSU game on, and when you're working out, you got your earphones on.
I do.
And you'll hear me go up, talk to myself, right?
Do. All the time.
All the time.
All the time.
I was just, LSU had lost yesterday again, 5-4.
Well, we saw them Thursday night.
Yeah, we went Thursday night, and they lost 13-1.
Somehow it's not quite so bad when you have a fountain drink, popcorn, and you're there.
Well, just because we hadn't been there, because of the COVID.
Because of the COVID.
And so, but that was, it's good to be there. But
it was great to be there.
But that game, they only played the fight song once.
I know.
And Baton Rouge calling once, which tells you
at the end.
At the end, which tells you it wasn't a very good game. No. It was 13-1. They had Tracy Rocker, who was pitching.
He was phenomenal.
His father was an All-American defensive end at Auburn and played in the NFL.
He's a big kid.
Oh, he's like 6'6", 270 pounds. And he basically threw, I think for 6 innings, almost a no-hitter, 1 or 2 hits. And then they had, the next night, Al Leiter's son, who pitched, right. who again pitched, did a phenomenal job.
I didn't watch that game.
I know. It was like watching the first one.
I don't know how much I watched the first one either.
Yeah, right.
Yakking the whole time.
You were talking. But that's a good part about baseball. You can go to the game, you can talk, you can miss an inning. Mm-hmm. It's like a football game. It's like, shh, be quiet, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Because it's, so intense. Even basketball, too, except for the timeouts. But baseball's got a nice little rhythm to it. It's got 4 or 5 minutes of action spread out into 3 hours.
That's right.
But so Al Leiter's son, who he threw flawlessly. This is the best 2-1-2 punch in baseball. And yesterday they did well. 5-4. They had the tying run at third base. The game ended. They had the winning run at first, and they just don't know how to win.
Well, Vanderbilt's the best team.
They're number one, but Tennessee, Mississippi State, they could be. They've lost 4 games, extra innings, winning tying runs on base. But here's some statistics for LSU this year. There's 14 SEC teams, and you don't have to be a baseball aficionado to know this, to figure this out, that they're 13th in hitting. They're batting about 200, which is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you should be, as a team, at least 250. They're 11th in pitching. So if you're 13th in batting and 11th in pitching,
you're not doing too well.
No. And they're 7th in fielding. Also,
they're just a young team?
They just lost confidence. Huh. I think that right now, at this point in the season, they have lost confidence.
Gotcha.
Now, they struggled back a little bit to, yesterday. I mean, they fought hard yesterday, but they just look like a team that's just lost, they just lost confidence. It's, confidence is so important.
It is.
Especially in college.
Yep.
And, they're 1-8. They play 30 SEC games. So, in order to get into the tournament, they had to win at least 14. So, I would say they would have to win 13 of their next 21 games to have a shot.
Is it
going to be
doable?
tough. Well, we planned our vacation during the College World Series, so that tells you what I think.
Oh, we just did?
Yeah, we just did. I'll tell you that. I usually try to keep it open just in case I want to shoot up the open hall.
Was that why we had that week open?
That's why we had the week open. So we, it's anything can happen. They did that. They had a couple of years ago. They had the rally possum. Mm-hmm. They were sort of in a slump, and the possum ran out in the field, and everything turned around, and they went on a tear. So, maybe
if we have another rally possum, are we missing our vacation?
Possibly. No, we already put the deposit down. And then they had, maybe a rally nutria or something could run on the field.
You never know.
But so we'll see. I love LSU baseball.
I know.
That's second for basketball, but not love passionate. But LSU baseball is great. It's got some amateurism still in it. So there you go. There. I'm not going to talk about the Pelicans again this week.
Okay.
Because they're hurt.
I know.
Josh Hart's out. And, they need to get this team together in the next 2 years because if they want to keep Zion.
I know. I was thinking about that.
Because you don't want an Anthony Davis and Chris Paul type of situation again. Oh, Baron Davis. Well, good riddance to Baron. But so also the talk with the Saints.
Oh, what is the talk? I haven't.
Well, Matt, with the quarterback now in the draft, they were talking about Mac Jones because they thought he might fall. He's quarterback for Alabama, fall to 27. Mm-hmm. But Mac started tearing it up.
Really?
He is. So I don't think he's not going to be there at 27. He might not be there in the top 3 or 5. So they're looking at who else.
And they make those decisions based upon the combine or
the combine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the combine. Well, now they don't have a combine this year.
Where were we watching on TV the other day? They were doing
Pro Day. Oh. What they used to do, they had the combine. Like when I was doing it, they had the combine in Indianapolis, and they were just sort of starting that. And then they would have. It was sort of a different day that you would have scouts that would come around, and you'd have to work your player out 7 or 8 times during the year. Mm-hmm. You'd have Kansas City Chiefs coming in to Tulane, LSU, and Nicholls State. But now what they do is they'll have a pro day where
they stay and all the coaches.
They'll set it up, and all the scouts will come in on a particular day and sort of observe. Now LSU can do that. Some of the smaller schools can't do that, but so they had their pro day, and Alabama had its pro day also. So, and Mac Jones is looking like someone who he only started for a year at Alabama, but he's moving up as the short version. So LSU's possibly looking at a alternative is Kyle. The rumor is we don't know because only they know what's going on in the reference. Kyle Trask from Florida.
Oh, okay.
Remember him? Mm-hmm. Good quarterback.
Where's Trevor Lawrence going? Is he first?
Yeah, he could be going to Jacksonville.
Is that where
Urban Meyer is?
Yeah, who's the kid number 7 from LSU?
No, he's at Tampa. Fournette.
Oh,
they cut him. They cut him.
Huh. But he went to Jacksonville first.
Yeah, he went to Jacksonville first. So that's the Saints news. And I showed you again. We were watching the game. You were watching your Victoria series, which is okay. I like that. But they had I was watching on the iPad.
I watched LSU
Gonzaga game. And that's probably going to go down as one of the greatest basketball games in the history of the Final Four. One of the great ones.
Poor UCLA, though.
Well, UCLA had to play in the first four to get in.
How heartbreaking.
It is. They played their heart out because they were 11th seed, which was I think when LSU made the Final Four in '86, they were 11th seed.
But weren't they getting ready to win?
Well, they tied 90-90, and it tied up with 3.3 seconds. And this, I tell you what, if you want to watch basketball the way it's supposed to be played, is Gonzaga, and also Baylor. Baylor's playing in the finals. These are talented players who play like teams. Right. LSU has talented players that play individually, and that's why they got knocked out. These two teams play as a team. Now, and so you hit Jalen Suggs hit a 35-foot bank shot at the buzzer. He took the ball. They took the ball down, crossed midcourt, and let it fly. Mm-hmm. Fantastic game. And the coach for it now that Baylor has a lot of Louisiana ties, so I'll go through this with you.
Okay.
Baylor has they got Jared Butler, who's their guard, who's their star guard. He's from Riverside Academy.
Oh, okay.
Who's coached by Timmy Bird. And
I don't know Timmy Bird.
I know. You remember at the volleyball game, Riverside, we played. I went and talked to the coach, the athletic director. That was Timmy Bird.
Okay.
He played at LSU's quarterback, and then he went to USM. And great athlete. And he coached Jared Butler over at Riverside, who's good friends, and he's good friends with the Baylor coach, who's Scott Drew. Scott Drew's father, Homer Drew, was an assistant coach for LSU from 1972 to 1976 under Coach Dale Brown when he first took over LSU, and then he went and coached at Valparaiso.
How do you know?
Now, also Scott Drew's brother is Bryce Drew, who was an original New Orleans Hornet when they relocated to New Orleans.
Are we having a quiz on this afterwards?
No, I just letting you. I mean, head full of useless knowledge. I'm giving you background on the Final Four. So there you go. And then, if you even want to hear more, Coach Brown's grandson, Coach was a grad assistant at Baylor 2 years ago.
Where is he now?
I think he's at Grand Valley State, if I'm not mistaken. So, we met the family at the Sugar Bowl.
We did.
So that's Robin Brown Prudhomme, who's Coach Brown's daughter. That's her three. We met their three sons, and two of them because he was coaching. He was coaching Baylor. He wasn't there. So there you go. So that's the lineup. It's going to be a great game. You got two basketball teams.
Wait, is it today?
It's tomorrow night.
Okay.
They play basketball like it's supposed to. They're super talented. They share the ball. They play defense. It's like watching a ballet.
Yeah, I do like that.
And unlike the one-on-one, take it down when it's my turn kind of basketball. It'll get you there. It's not going to get you to the Final Four. So it's going to be great. I think it's going to be one of the great matchups. Gonzaga is undefeated. And I don't think any team has won the NCAA undefeated since Indiana in 1976. Remember that one?
Oh, no, I don't.
With Scott May and, remember that group? Kent Benson? All right, your head's about to blow up. I got the sports out the way. Huh? Some people listen to it. Some people listen to it because of that.
I love your head full of useless knowledge.
No, they like the sports.
I know they do.
If we read from the Civil Code, nobody'd listen to us.
I hear you.
It's okay. Article 1.
I'm not saying anything. I think you did a great job.
I know. Some people give me a hard time about it. But, all right. Well, we'll talk sport. We'll talk law after this.
Okay.
I don't know if I hear a cat or the music in the background. Maybe both. So it means to go to a break. Doug Sunseri, Michelle Demarest, Sunseri, All Things Legal. We'll be right back after this brief time out.
All the audio that matters to you is on Odyssey. Odyssey has news that hits home in your local area and around the country. Get local news, traffic, and weather from stations near you. Get national news from CNN.
Okay, we have Justin holding.
And explore the biggest news podcasts like The Daily Punch, Pod Save America, and The Daily, AUDACY. Find all the news that matters to you in a universe of audio. Odyssey.
If you're building a new home or buying a new home from a builder, you need to be aware of Louisiana's New Home Warranty Act. It sets forth strict deadlines to make claims against the builder for defects in construction. If you don't provide the builder with proper notice, you can lose your right to make a claim. This is Albert Nico with the Nico and Sunseri Law Firm in Metairie. Call me at 504-837-1304 as soon as you discover a defect. Better yet, call me.
I'm getting a lot of mechanical mic noise.
Odyssey is all the audio that matters to you. Listen on your smart speaker or voice-assisted device. Amazon Echo, Google Nest, Sonos, Apple HomePod. It's so easy to play your favorites at your command. Hands-free. All kinds of music from all over the country. Top 40, rock, R&B, country, alternative, and more. Sports talk and coverage from all the leagues. News from coast to coast. It's all here. Just ask your smart speaker to play your favorite station. Explore a universe of audio. Odyssey.
No boat shows? No problem. Boat Stuff has over 100 boats on order. Come in today for boat show savings on Boat Stuff's full line of coastal boats, including Avid, Blue Wave, Vexus, Sea Fox, and Regulator. Boats and Yamaha motors are coming in weekly, all with boat show savings. Make no waves about it. Get your boat and Yamaha outboard from Boat Stuff in Slidell, Harvey, Port Sulphur, and Hammond, or at boatstuff.com.
Doing your best work from home is not easy when you don't have the right space. California Closets will help you create a custom solution that works for you, your family, and your life. Whether it's a small space, shared space, multifunctional space, or kids space, our professional design consultants will help you get organized and make your space one that works better for you. Now you can love where you live and work. Schedule your free in-home or virtual design consultation today at californiaclosets.com.
Let NOLA Protection improve the security at your business by keeping your property, customers, and employees safe. NOLA Protection is the local choice for security guard services and equipment. Give them a call at 504-577-2323 or on the web at nolaprotection.com.
The Champions Club, the Acme Oyster House tent. All the venues you've come to love now in one ticket. The best of the Zurich Classic Pass. And all safety protocols will be followed to ensure a safe experience for everyone. The Zurich Classic, April 22nd through 25th. For more info and tickets, go to zurichgolfclassic.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them.
Okay, we go right after this.
All right, Porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes. $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-568-2790. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-568-2790. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-568-2790. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-568-2790. 800-568-2790.
Now, more All Things Legal, underwritten by Nico and Sunseri Law Firm. All advice given and opinions shared are solely those of attorneys Albert Nico and Doug Sunseri. Back to WWL.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sunseri, Michelle Demarest, Sunseri, All Things Legal. Happy, and joyful Easter.
Happy Resurrection Day.
Resurrection Day. Our man didn't stay in the ground.
He did not stay in the ground.
All right. Let's go to phone lines. Let's go to Justin. Hey, Justin, you on? Happy Easter. And Justin, just in case, is the official beneficiary at the Nico and Sunseri irrevocable unfunded trust. Unfunded trust.
Don't you feel?
You're always going to give me a hard time about that, are you, Doug?
Yes.
Don't you feel honored?
Yes. So, yes.
Hi, Michelle and Doug. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
I have a real law question, but I'm going to give you a joke law question before that.
What you got?
If the Easter Bunny sends me a basket full of candy and I get cavities, can I send him the bill for my dental work?
In California, yes. Absolutely. In In fact, you know that I will tell you this: we don't have kids in the house anymore. But the Easter Bunny stopped by because, he likes to talk politics and law with me, and he was telling me that California would not let him in unless he was double masked. And also,
oh my God, you gotta be kidding.
also he said that they wanted to make sure that the eggs were boiled humanely. And organic paint was used. It was true. Now, one thing he did say, okay, this is true. He did say he had no problem getting in from the Mexican border. He said that was easy. In fact, he said there was people willing to help him to get through. And also,
and then they put him up in a hotel and everything.
Also, when they did turn him away in California because he didn't wear a double mask, they did give him a voter registration card.
Oh my God, you're too much stuff.
Sure.
I drew an Easter cartoon the other day about the Easter bunny carrying a basket waiting for the eggs, and the hen is on the nest, and the hen's like, "What are you waiting for?"
Funny.
That's right. That's right. He was
Anyway, anyway, I don't take up much more of your time, but it's really good to talk to you. My real question is that I have a neighbor, and she has cordoned off the street side, the ground between the street and the sidewalk. She thinks it's her property. She doesn't want people walking on it. Is that legal?
The sidewalk?
The sidewalk?
Is she cordoning off the sidewalk?
No, she's cordoning off not the sidewalk, but the ground, the grass between the sidewalk and the street, which belongs to the city, not her.
No, that's
she's. Yeah.
So can she do that?
She's not supposed to. She's not. No, she's not supposed to. I mean, she doesn't have. I'll put it to you this way: she doesn't have the legal authority to do so.
Well, it's highly unlikely that someone's going to come by and arrest her for doing this. But we were having a conversation about that the other day, and I said, that probably doesn't belong to you. Now, you put the cones. She has like 4 orange cones with a rope. If she put it on her grass on her property, she could do that. But she's on the street side, and I don't think that's legal.
I don't think she can. No, she can't do it. So, I mean,
she legally can't do it.
Technically, you could take it down, and there's nothing she could do.
Well, I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to report her. But we were having an argument the other day. I said, my dad was a lawyer, and I think what you're doing is not right. You can't do it. Why? She's going to do it anyway. I'm not going to report her.
Why does she want to do it? Did she say?
Well, you wouldn't believe this.
I believe.
She doesn't like dogs pooping in her yard. Can you believe that? She's that neurotic. She doesn't want a dog on her yard. Now that's fine, but a dog can come on the street, city property, and do all the business they want.
Right. Well, they can. And,
that's what I think.
Yeah. Well, actually, the number 2 is good for the grass, isn't it?
That's what I said.
Poop. So they hold up 2 paws and say,
Well, I want to get off the phone so I know other people call, but love to you and your families, and have a happy Easter. And it's a beautiful day outside, so go enjoy it.
All right. Happy Easter, Justin. Good to hear from you. Justin, the official beneficiary of the unfunded trust of Nico and Sunseri Law Firm. There you go. Unfunded means means no money in it.
No money.
It's just a title.
It's just a title.
It's broke. It's broke. There you go. Happy Easter, Justin. I guess we'll talk about a little bit about trust. I didn't tell you about a conversation with the Easter Bunny.
No, you didn't. That's pretty funny. I'm sorry I missed it.
I'll get some water. You like to stop. People like to stop by, talk. Talk law and politics. So he had a hard time, but he had some other issues. But I'll save it for another show. He's just a little distressed about what's going on in the United States.
I imagine so.
But anyway.
He didn't have any other conversations with you?
We did, but I can't talk about it on radio.
Oh.
He's a little hot about a few things. Yeah. But anyway, they were. Anyway, he's okay. He'll be back next year. Okay. So let's see. We wanted to talk a little bit how we transitioned from, LSU baseball, Easter Bunny to continuing tutorships. So I guess we get in the law part.
I think we're getting the law part, yeah.
So, but one of the interesting things is you have a lot of kids, and I don't know why. A lot of young people with ADHD, autism, neurological issues.
Right.
If you go to a lot, one of the reasons people come to St. Tammany is because they have such a wonderful alternate education program.
Right.
For
the public school system.
Public school system for students with special needs.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that a lot of people don't know who have children or grandchildren is that if they're unable to make decisions for themselves, or they have some impairment, when they become 18, they become adults.
Right.
And when you become adults, it means your parents can't assist in technically medical decisions, can't act on their behalf.
Right.
And so, there's a procedure in law that provides that if you have a child or grandchild who has a special need or some type of disability, that you could get something called a continuing tutorship.
Right.
So what is a continuing tutorship?
Continuing tutorship essentially is a judgment by the court that the person, even though they've turned 18 and are essentially majors, they never reach legal majority. So you have a parent or a guardian who can still make decisions for them.
And that comes into play as far as like if you go to the doctor's office.
Right. And I think what happens is a lot of times these kids and their parents, they have the same doctor. So when they turn 18, sometimes the doctor doesn't change his or her procedure because they're familiar with the parent, even though by HIPAA law they're required to. And then if they go to another doctor, or let's say they have to change, and then all of a sudden this child's over 18, they go to a new doctor, then they're used to just being the voice of their child, and all of a sudden this doctor says, wait, this child is, he's 18, I can't really talk with you about his or her medical condition unless there's a tutorship proceeding.
Now, if you let's say you had someone who had severe autism, who has a lot of difficulty in communicating,
Mm-hmm.
and they become 18, but you don't get a continuing tutorship. Now, well, I guess first of all, continuing tutorship is fairly straightforward.
It's very easy. It's very straightforward.
For being a legal procedure,
right.
Easy.
Right.
Yeah. Basically, what you'd have to do is petition the court.
Right.
Attach some medical records, maybe an IEP from school.
Right.
And then you submit it to the judge. And they normally, if it's compelling enough, they'll normally just sign it and send it back. And
I don't know if I've ever had a hearing, unless I had two parents contesting. Unless I had one parent contesting.
Or they might call you in if they're concerned about whether the conditions, to the extent where
rise to the occasion.
Yeah, to the continuing tutorship. But also, you would have, what would be the alternative if, let's say, you had someone with severe autism who really can't communicate, turns 18 years old?
The alternative is an interdiction, which is a much more complicated process, a much more expensive process.
Yes, because for interdiction, what you'd have to do is petition the court.
Mm-hmm.
Then you'd have to
appoint an attorney for the proposed interdict or the child.
And a lot of times, some courts will appoint a doctor to conduct an examination, which costs a couple $1,000 too. And then you have to have a trial.
Right. And then depending upon who the attorney is, sometimes you get one that, has their own thoughts on things, and it can make it extremely complicated.
Well, we had a severely autistic child who had trouble communicating.
Right.
And they were appointed a curator, and they didn't get a continuing tutorship. So they had gone through the government services, and finally someone said, we can't talk to you until you get a interdiction. We couldn't do a power of attorney because because he didn't have capacity to do it. So one of the things that happened, which was sort of interesting, judges appoint curators. They either appoint, maybe people who have supported them, or attorneys who express a desire to be curators, but also they appoint young lawyers out of school.
Right.
And so we had happened to get a young lawyer who was for her first case, and she was sort of one of those nice young lady. I said it right. Who was, sort of we call it bleeding, well, I guess sort of like a bleeding heart.
Mm-hmm.
And so when she interviewed him, she said he won't be able to get married, and we're like, yeah. And so we had to contest that issue with the judge, whether he would be granted an interdiction because he couldn't, his child get married. And the judge was very nice and patient, a lot more patient than I was.
Right.
So
I remember that case.
Yeah, you remember that case because I complained about it. But so my point in saying that is an interdiction is probably cost 4 or 5 times more than a continuing tutorship. So it's good that I hear the music.
I do hear
and
the
not
music.
our cat. Will you put the cat out?
I put the cat out.
You gonna keep it out for a while?
I'm gonna keep it out all day.
You know, if it's up to me, he would never come back. Huh?
She loves you.
Yeah, but that's not mutual. So I tolerate the cat.
I wish she'd sit on my lap. I like her.
Cats, you see, cats are like, the more you ignore them, the more they like you.
Dogs have owners, cats have servants. That's just the way it is.
All right. Well, keep that. All right, we'll keep that cat outside for at least another hour and a half. All right, well, let's go to a break. Doug Sunseri, Michelle Demarest Sunseri, All Things Legal. We'll be right back after this brief timeout.
It's all happening. Bruce from Covington, Raina from Metairie, and Susan from New Orleans.
Okay, we have Miss Cleon from Pearl River.
Who do we have?
Win big money too.
Miss Cleon.
Every weekday, every hour between 7 a.m. and 6 p.m., you have the chance to win $1,000 in our Odyssey National Cash Contest. Listen for the code word right before the top of the hour news. Then text it to 72881. The free cash contest starts again Monday on WWL.
Have you ever wanted to learn a new language like French, Spanish, or Russian, but thought it would be too difficult and time-consuming? Then go to Babbel.com and try it for free. Babbel works because it's built around real life. It teaches you everyday practical conversations that you will actually use. In 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. Babbel uses a modern conversation-based technique that makes language engaging, fun, and memorable. It starts by teaching you words and phrases. Then, sentences gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations about real-life topics. Babbel is created by language experts who use the spaced repetition method to help you learn quickly and remember what you learned. With Babbel, you can speak a new language. Babbel. Language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Hey, New Orleans, we make it easy. Go to RayBridgeAuto.com.
They sure do make it easy. They stand ready to serve you. This is Newell, and the Ray Brand Auto Group is always first and only choice when purchasing or maintaining a vehicle for me or my family. With 14 dealerships and 6 collision centers, they stand ready to serve you. So check them out at RayBrandAuto.com.
Go to RayBridgeAuto.com.
At Community Coffee, we've been making great tasting coffee for over 100 years. But what makes us different isn't just how long we've been around, it's how far we're willing to go in pursuit of the perfect cup. We select only the finest beans and use over 4 generations of family roasting experience to give you the richest, most delicious coffee around. Find Community Coffee at your local grocery store or visit communitycoffee.com to order some today.
Keep the New Orleans tradition alive. Register for the Allstate Sugar Bowl Crescent City Classic virtual race at ccc10k.com. You pick the course and time, you get your CCC 10K gear and help our local charities. Hit the road, trail or treadmill, April 1st through April 5th. Special thanks to Hancock Whitney Bank for making this race a reality.
Rejuvenate your weekends with Rejuvame. RejuvameMedical.com. Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-568-2790. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-568-2790. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-568-2790. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-568-2790. 800-568-2790.
Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your car, home, motorcycle, commercial auto, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com.
All things legal on WWL, AM/FM.com, and the Odyssey app. To connect with Doug Sunseri and Albert Nico, 504-260-1870.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sunseri, Michelle Demarest Sunseri, all things legal. Okay, just before we get to our Miss Cleon on the phone, before we get to that, our daughter, who's an attorney at the law firm, Katie, she texted us last night about 9:30. She says, I'm stuck in the elevator.
No, we never did hear back. Is she out?
Well, and then she basically texted the next hour and said, I'm stuck in the elevator or something. I'm still stuck.
The fire department.
Fire department, and I'm not going to get into response time. I'm not even going to go there and say Orleans Parish response time for fire department. But so we hadn't heard from them all night. So we were wondering if the COVID cutbacks in the fire department and NOPD she's still there. But anyway, she did check in.
Oh, just now?
I saw her come across on the feed for
good.
So apparently, unless she's watching it from the elevator,
she could be.
So Katie, if you're listening, let us know if you're watching from the elevator, and we get a little better on that response time for for Orleans Parish. But if you are, letting us know so we can tell your clients they can keep their appointment tomorrow.
Or whether she'll be here today.
Oh yeah, she's supposed to be Easter today. So there you go. We just wanted to say that was good news. And let's go to the phone lines. Let's go to Miss Cleon from Pearl River. Hey, Miss Cleon, you and all things legal. Happy Easter.
Good morning.
Happy Easter to you. Also, good morning, and thank you for all the help that you give people. The reason I'm calling is that I thought you might want to add to what you were discussing about taking care of children. Holding gave me time to get. I don't have the date of publication. This is a couple years ago, but I saved a copy of the article cautioning parents about when their kids turn 18, especially if they are far from home in school, that you better have a healthcare power of attorney, an authorization for financial power of attorney, and an education record released because the horror story is about these folks who dropped their kid off somewhere out of town to, at the beginning of a term and didn't hear from her for days, and school couldn't tell them anything because she was an adult. They said call the hospital. Hospital couldn't tell them anything because she was an adult, and she'd been in a coma because she was bit by a spider. But of course, and especially this educational release.
Wow.
If I had a kid that I was putting through college who didn't want to sign permission for me to see the grades, I'd just be asking him how he was planning to pay for his college.
I was about to tell you
might want to enlighten folks on that.
Miss Cleon, that is wonderful, wonderful advice.
Yeah.
That when you do send your kids off to college, it's good to get that authorization to get their medical records. It's good to get a power of attorney so you can get their financial records. And you know what? If you're paying for it, you get power of attorney for everything else too.
I know that when we registered 2 of our kids for LSU and then 1 for Sanford, they did it online, and so that was a requirement for us to be able to pay their tuition bill. So I know the schools do that, and then so we wound up doing one online for them.
But Miss Cleon, that is excellent advice for parents who are going to, especially going to send their children off to college in about 4 or 5 months.
Sure.
And you're exactly right. And Miss Cleon, you there still?
So much to ask for.
And also too, we have a policy in the show that if you give it good, we always sending people bills, and we think this ought to be fair. Okay. So when callers give us good advice, we have a policy that you can bill us, and I'll give you Albert's address, personal address, to send the bill, and do what Albert does to others. Just bill high, and I'll make sure he pays it. Okay. I'll give you a
in return. I will. You remember several days back when it was down in the 20s overnight?
Yes, I do. Yes.
It was so cold. The attorneys had their hands in their own pockets.
Oh, yeah, that is cold. That's cold. My favorite is, you see, thanks, Miss Cleon. My favorite is, how do you tell that an attorney got run over by a car? There's no skid marks. So anyway,
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. All right. See you. Thanks so much. I have to say, I digress again. I know. I don't want to roll. I had an attorney. Some attorneys listen to this, and I had an attorney scold me
for what?
Making lawyer jokes. He said, "It denigrates the profession. It just perpetrates a stereotype." And I'm like, "Truth's the defense to everything." But no, I'm just good. So I love lawyer jokes. I think they're hysterical.
They are funny. They are funny.
We
can't take offense.
We had a show that we implored the Claws to give us your best lawyer joke.
Oh, really? That's fun.
We did that several years ago.
That's fun.
Maybe April's Fools was 3 days ago. Maybe we'll do that when there's sort of a quiet, little quiet period. Yeah. Or they can call today. Give your best. Yeah. Except Dan. Dan's the one who does the dirty jokes on Sunday mornings. I say we can't have any dirty jokes on Sunday mornings. No. So Dan, everybody but you, probably listening. So, all right, let's go to a break. Doug Sunseri, Michelle Demarest, Sunseri, all things legal. We'll be right back after this brief timeout.
Have you noticed the first 4 letters of the word paint is paint?
And Dan is on the line. He is up next.
But I don't like paint, and I don't like the paint of painting my home.
I didn't know he was on the line.
Not to mention the cost. That's why I'm having my home coated with Rhino Shield. Rhino Shield is a revolutionary ceramic coating that comes with a 25-year warranty.
We got about 3
and it's perfect for wood, brick, stucco, hardy board, and vinyl. So do what I did. Call for a free estimate, 504-407-2222, 407-2222, or visit rhinoshieldmidsouth.com. Listen, here's the bottom line with Rhino Shield. You'll never have to paint your home or business again, guaranteed. Rhino Shield is perfect for the Gulf Coast climate, resists mold and fading, and it's more affordable than you think. So call now for your free estimate, 504-407-2222, 407-2222, or visit rhinoshieldmidsouth.com.
The New Orleans Saints and Pelicans offer the ultimate entertainment experience. Now you can get onto the field and into the hottest concerts in town with our newest all-inclusive premium offerings. Saints field level suites get you closer to the action than ever before. And with Pelican suite packages, you'll watch some of the NBA's brightest stars, like Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram. To get your tickets to the suite life and learn more, visit NewOrleansSaints.com or Pelicans.com today.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
At Mike Brenner Injury Attorneys, we know that car wrecks don't take the weekends off, and neither do we. If you've been hurt in a wreck over the weekend, don't wait until Monday to get the help you need right now. We have people standing by, ready to take your call, ready to give you free advice, and ready to help you get the medical attention you need. You don't have to wait until Monday to call an attorney. In a wreck, need a check? Call me, Mike Brander. We're the 24/7 injury attorneys, and we're available to get you the help you need right now.
Mike Brander's a 1-345-1111.
Brandon Holly here. Stylish, quality, custom doors. ReliefWindows.com.
Have you ever wanted to learn a new language like French, Spanish, or Russian, but thought it would be too difficult and time-consuming? Then go to Babbel.com and try it for free. Babbel works because it's built around real life. It teaches you everyday practical conversations that you will actually use. In 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. Babbel uses a modern conversation-based technique that makes language engaging, fun, and memorable. It starts by teaching you words and phrases. Then, sentences gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations about real-life topics. Babbel is created by language experts who use the spaced repetition method to help you learn quickly and remember what you learned. With Babbel, you can speak a new language. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Now, more All Things Legal, paid for by Nico and Sunseri Law Firm. All advice given and opinions shared are solely those of attorneys Albert Nico and Doug Sunseri. Back to WWL.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sunseri, Michelle Demarest, All Things Legal. We're back. And also, all jokes are underwritten by
you.
Better for worse, huh?
For better for worse.
All right, let's go to the phone lines. Let's go to Dan. Hey, Dan, you on All Things Legal.
Did you know that was me on the phone?
No, I did not. I did not. That was telepathically. Because I'm like, inviting someone to tell jokes. And I was like, oh no, Dan's going to call. But that's why I had to put the disclaimer out. They have to be clean.
I called about. You owe me an apology.
Are you offended? Are you offended? Is that what it is? Do you want? Huh?
Listen, keep quiet a minute. I thought it was you and your beautiful wife.
Thank you, Dan.
Easter, my favorite holiday. I don't like Christmas as much as I do Easter.
Oh yeah.
For my religion and for the good food.
Yeah.
That's not all I talked about.
What's
also, pay you a compliment.
Yeah.
When you did for me.
What I did?
I spoke to you during the week.
Yeah.
I want to tell our audience you were very nice to me during the week. You gave me very good advice, and I appreciate it.
All right, Dan. Well, thank you. You're easy. You're easy to be nice to.
Thank you. But now let's get to business.
All right.
I knew it was coming.
my daughter, my granddaughter, goes to Nichols, and she's what do you call it? The helper on the football.
Oh, for Coach Rebo, she is a trainer. Or manager.
Yeah, but she's a trainee manager,
right.
And they promised them that they, besides the pay, by the way, it was about 30 cents an hour that they pay them.
Sure.
And but if they won the game, the big game, they'd get a gold ring.
Mm-hmm.
So Nichols won the whatever. I'm not good at sports. I'm good at jokes. If they won the big game, they get their gold ring. For 2 years in a row now, they've won the championship, and they have never given them their gold ring. Do we have any recourse?
Probably. There's probably not recourse because there's no contractual right to give a gift. And so they wouldn't be legal recourse, but probably not.
Could we get in touch with the alumni association or something like that and say, "Hey, cheapskates, get off here"? You know what?
Well, that you could, or you could, you could go. I guess you go to, you could go to the top and find out. I don't. I do know this that there's scarce resources down there for the athletic programs, and you see, one of the things most athletic programs do not make money. LSU does. Tulane probably. I don't know if Tulane does or not. Most of them don't. Now they do it in order to keep the profile for the university, and it's a good PR tool. But it's almost like you pay in advertising to keep you competitive. So there's not a legal requirement to do that because it's an interesting thing. Like when the Saints won the Super Bowl, where do you stop giving the Super Bowl ring? At what point in the organization do you say, okay, you can get one, but you don't get one? I'm talking about administrative staff, or maybe, interns, part-time trainers, volunteer trainers, and that sort of thing. So anytime that you win that type of championship in, an organization, there's always a demarcation as to, where do you stop with the prize? So, is she still a trainer there right now?
Yeah, she's got 2 more years.
Well, actually, Coach Rebo is he's done. She's getting good training because that's a good program. Mm-hmm. That's a very, very Nichols State's a very, very good program, and I think Coach Rebo's probably one of the best coaches in Division I AA in the nation. No question about it, because he's taken Nickel State from, it was flat in his face, and now they're competing for championships. So she's in a good place to learn her trade.
He's probably the most cheapest too, huh?
All right. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do, Dan. As a favor to you, when I run into Coach Rebo again, which may not be too long.
I got one quick for you.
What you got?
Well, a guy went before the judge for rape.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
And the judge. I know you don't have a button, so it's not bad.
I don't have a home button.
The judge looks at the woman and says, "Miss, you're twice as big as this gentleman. How could he rape you?" She said, "Judge, I rape easy."
Oh, dude, I missed the last part, and you know what, Doug? Why don't you call me and tell me privately, and we'll do it. Dan, you have a blessed and happy Easter, and so we're finished hour number 1 on this Easter edition of All Things Legal. We'll be back in a few minutes for hour number 2. Stay tuned for national news, local news. Back in about 10 minutes. See you for hour number 2. We got a new rejoin. That's what I'm trying to figure out when we get out. All right. Got out of that.
870 AM WWL New Orleans, 105.3 WWL FM and HD1 Kenner, New Orleans, and Odyssey Station.
I'm Stacy Lynn in Washington. Social media bringing Easter at the Vatican to homes around the world. Pope Francis celebrated Mass at the Basilica with only a small number of the faithful present, but was joined by Catholics tuning into the Vatican's Facebook page and other sites. CBS's Sabina Castelfranco is in Rome.
He prayed that the Lord may give comfort and sustain the valiant efforts of doctors and nurses, adding that everyone has the right to have access to care.
At one point, over 9,000 people were watching on Facebook. Many families are preparing for Easter celebrations today, but as this New Yorker reminds us, you still need to be safe.
To be able to celebrate the holiday together, it's just a fabulous thing to do as if everyone could follow the right protocols.
CDC says if you and your family haven't been vaccinated, keep the Easter egg hunts and your gatherings outdoors, wear masks, and social distance. They're talking security again on Capitol Hill after another incident at the complex. The outer fencing that was put up following the January 6th attack was recently taken down. Some residents, like John Diamond, think that was not a good idea.
I did think, the trouble is over, and clearly that thought was wrong.
The inner fencing remains in place. The Biden administration fielded questions on Twitter about the newly announced American Jobs Plan. Brian Deese, the director of the National Economic Council, was asked, 90 out of the top Fortune 500 companies pay zero in taxes. How will your jobs plan make them pay their share?
Our corporate tax system is broken. What this plan is going to do is it's going to fix it by making sure that corporations pay a 28% tax. We're going to apply a global minimum tax so that companies can no longer shift profits and production abroad.
President Biden says the plan will invest in our infrastructure and strengthen America's competitiveness for decades to come. Some companies are voicing their opinions against Georgia's new controversial voting law. CBS's Tom Hansen.
Delta Airlines and Coca-Cola saying they oppose the new law.
Major League Baseball, Coca-Cola, and Delta may be scared of Stacey Abrams.
Democrat Stacey Abrams, who lost the 2018 governor's race to Kemp, staunchly opposes the voting law. She expressed disappointment over Major League Baseball's decision, but commended the league for taking a stand.
A march and rally was held in Oakland, California on Saturday, calling for unity and denouncing attacks on Asian Americans. Wilson Walker with KPIX was there and spoke to some marching.
We are fed up.
Wendy, Anna, and Pauline Wong were part of the crowd. They have been attending rallies for several weekends now.
To support our communities, and we have to be united.
This is CBS News.
CBS News Radio is your home for breaking news. With our team of reporters around the country and the world, we give you the coverage you can trust.
The border is in crisis. President Trump secured the border, but Biden is spending $86 million on hotel rooms for migrants. Now, Grant Stinchfield investigates Biden's executive orders at dangerous policies. Watch Stinchfield on Newsmax TV tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern as he reveals the dangers. Find Newsmax TV on all major cable systems or get it free on Roku, YouTube, Xumo, Pluto, and smart TVs. Plus, download the free Newsmax app on your phone. Help protect our border. Watch Newsmax TV's Stinchfield tonight.
It's all about the nose. It's your air filter, the first line of defense against bacteria and viruses. If too many germs get stuck in your nose, guess what? You get sick. That's why it's so important to keep your nose clean, just like washing your hands. Now there's a better way to keep your nose clean and help your body protect itself. It's called Navage Nasal Care. Navage uses powered suction to flush out allergens, mucus, bacteria, and viruses. At Navage.com, CVS, Walgreens, Bed Bath, Target, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E.
WWL First News. I'm Tom Perumian on your official weather station, WWL AM, FM, and .com.
Looking at a beautiful Easter, starting off a little cool, but by the afternoon we'll be into the low to mid 70s. Lots of sunshine with just a little bit of a southeast breeze, and then heading into this evening, staying clear.
Your local weather expert, WWL TV meteorologist, Peyton Malone. Louisiana State Police are searching for a 4-year-old boy last seen with his father. Alec Brown is 3 feet tall with brown hair and brown eyes. He weighs about 45 pounds. He was last seen wearing a red shirt, gray shorts, and blue sneakers that light up. Luke Brown is wanted for questioning in his son's disappearance. He's a 39-year-old white male with brown hair and brown eyes. He's approximately 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighs 175 pounds. He's possibly driving a 2008 black Cadillac with a Louisiana license plate 653 EGK.
Okay, we have Tommy from Kenner on the line.
WWL TV's Paul Dudley has the details.
That's it.
Shootings in New Orleans. A man is dead after an overnight shooting in Mid-City. Around 11 last night, the NOPD responded to a call about a shooting on the corner of Bank Street and South Carrollton. They found the victim there with gunshot wounds. He was taken to the hospital where he died shortly after. Then around 2 a.m., police notified us about a double shooting on the edge of the French Quarter near the corner of Canal and Bourbon. We do not know the condition of either one of those victims, and the NOPD has not told us their ages or genders just yet. And finally, we now know where a man was shot yesterday before being brought to the hospital. The NOPD tells us it happened on Harborview Drive in New Orleans East. The victim showed up to an area hospital with a single gunshot wound around 4:45 in the afternoon. We do not know his condition either. Call Crime Stoppers if you know anything about either one of these shootings.
Now here's Mark Menard and WWL Sports.
After 2 frustrating games of trying to solve Vanderbilt's pitching, LSU finally got some hits yesterday as they played Game 3 of their weekend series against the Commodores. In the end, though, it was Vanderbilt's offense coming through again with some timely hitting.
Now the 1-0. Absolutely mashed to left field. 2 guys going back, and this one is gone. Walter with a 2-run blast to give Vandy a 5-3 lead at the top of the 7th.
The Commodores would take Game 3 from LSU in Baton Rouge 5-4 to complete the weekend sweep. With the loss, LSU is now 1-8 in SEC play. They're back in action Tuesday night, hosting McNeese. In yesterday's Final Four matchups, Baylor ran roughshod over the Houston Cougars. The Bears would win 78-59 to advance to the national championship on Monday. They'll take on the tournament's number 1 overall seed, Gonzaga, but the Bulldogs have a tougher time getting there. They survived UCLA in overtime on a buzzer beater, 93-90. And the Pelicans will look to overcome their sudden avalanche of injuries tonight when they take on the Rockets in Houston. Tip-off is set for 7 o'clock. I'm Mark Menard, WWL Sports.
Now, the full forecast from your local weather expert, WWL TV meteorologist, Peyton Malone.
Going to be a gorgeous Easter Sunday. Highs get to around 74 degrees with lots of sunshine and just a little bit of a light breeze. As we head into this evening and tonight, getting cool but not too cold. 48 on the North Shore and 56 on the South Shore, waking up Monday morning. Monday, we'll see lots of sunshine once again. Highs will be around 77. Heading into Tuesday, that's when the moisture returns. Humidity goes up, and highs will be warmer around 80. Can't rule out a few showers on Tuesday, but it doesn't look like a big rain day. We'll see more clouds, too. From your local weather expert forecast center, I'm WWL TV meteorologist Peyton Malone.
And I'm Tom Perumian, WWL First News. From WWL, the news talk sports powerhouse of the Gulf South, it's All Things Legal with Doug Sunseri and Albert Nico. Underwritten by Nico and Sunseri Law Firm. Call or text 504-260-1870 or join us anytime, anywhere on the Odyssey app. Now, to our Jefferson Financial Federal Credit Union studios in the heart of New Orleans, here are attorneys Albert Nico and Doug Sunseri.
Hey, we're back for hour number 2. Doug Sunseri, Michelle Demarest, Sunseri, all things legal. Give us a call 260-1870, and we're also streaming live on Facebook on our law firm Facebook page or personal Facebook page. Just check us out. Before we get to Tommy and Kenner, quick sports. McNeese State played Nicholls State yesterday, and McNeese State won 43-31. You know who's who's the quarterback for McNeese State?
Your friend's child?
No,
I don't know.
No, that's ULL. Cody Ogeron.
Oh.
Yes. So it's his son's quarterback, and they beat now the head coach Rebo coaches Nicholls State.
Right.
And so but the quarterback for now, here's a little interesting. The quarterback for Nicholls State is Lindsey Scott. Lindsey Scott originally signed with LSU.
Yeah, I thought that name sounded familiar.
And his father was Lindsey Scott from the Florida.
Yes, I knew that.
From the Florida-Georgia game, I think from 1981, 80, with Herschel Walker, where he caught an 87-yard pass. Now Lindsey Scott is an attorney in Baton Rouge.
Yes.
His father. So there you go. Congratulations to McNeese State, and so I'm a Coach Rebo fan. At Nicholls State, he does a great job, and I don't know if they're gonna make the playoffs or not. We'll see. And also LSU spring practice, looking like Max Johnson might be the man.
Really?
He can run and pass. He's not. The other two quarterbacks they're very good. Brennan and the big escapes me, the one from Ponchatoula. So it looks like Max Johnson's got an edge so far.
So he's going to be the.
Well, we don't. There's a long way to go. It's just we're in the middle of the first quarter or the first furlong of a 8-furlong race.
Gotcha.
So, all right, let's go to the phone lines. Let's go to Tommy and Kenna, bro. Hey, Tommy, you on All Things Legal. What you got,
Good morning.
Good
morning.
Happy
Easter, Tommy.
I had two sports topics to talk about in a law question, but now I'm down to one because you just stole my thunder with the McNeese game.
Oh, did you? Who are you, McNeese or Nicholls State?
McNeese, Nicholls State. Yeah, you just stole my thunder on that.
Who? Are you a McNeese guy or Nicholls State?
Neither. I saw the highlights of the games on the news late last night.
Gotcha. All right. There you go.
I'd like to give a shout out to Southeastern and Coach Selfo. They put it on Lamar last night, so they still in the hunt for the playoffs for the Southland Conference.
Yeah, they play Nicholls State next weekend in Thibodeau, right?
Yeah. I think they're both last regular
season
games.
Yeah.
But Nicholls was eliminated.
They were eliminated. Okay, so they're out. All right.
Yeah. But my question is, I got an old truck in my driveway, and I keep getting knocks on my door to buy it. And they always offer me cash. And is it legal for me to sell my truck to an illegal?
Is no. No, it's not. Well, I mean, you gotta get a title. It's gonna have to be.
Yeah, I still got to find the title over to him, right?
Well, I'm saying that if I'll put it to you this way, if he can take title, then it's probably not enforceable. That's a good question because undocumented workers, do work now, and they give them,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's not illegal to do that because, like, if they have workers' comp claims or whatever, they're availed to all the rights of Louisiana laws. That's an interesting question. I would say if they have the ability to take title, I don't think it's per se illegal, or enforceably
Yeah, I'm
illegal.
scared to do it because I don't know if it's legal.
Um,
It's tempting because they offer cash, but and I don't mean to stereotype, but I can tell it's illegals.
well, I mean, if they
Yeah.
would they, I mean, they would need typically when you could take title, you need some type of photo identification. And if you go,
Oh, you don't need one to vote.
So
I was about to say that too, but
yeah, but I would say that when you're saying illegal, yes, technically it's illegal. Okay, but
Okay. Figured as much. I figured.
there's not it's illegal to hire undocumented workers for employment. But if they're
Yeah.
if you do, they're availed all the laws of employment. Workers' comp, wage requirements, that sort of thing. So it's hard to explain because yes, it probably is like for an employer, it's illegal to hire them undocumented worker, but if they do work, they're availed of all the laws that any other employee is availed of. So I mean, typically your issue is a title. I mean, if it was just a
Yes.
piece of furniture or something,
Yeah, I got to
it
sign
wouldn't
the title
matter.
over.
And so that's what complicates that. So my inclination would be, according to the letter of the law, no, that would not be legal. But I'm sure it's done all the time. That's the best way I can explain
Well,
it.
not by me because I'm worried. They'll wreck me. I signed the title over to them and all that. But
Well, yeah,
anyway,
yeah. So yeah, I mean, when you the biggest thing is when you sell a car that's junked or you definitely want to get the title out your name because it poses all kinds of
yeah,
complications for insurance and you get a hold with the
right.
state and that sort of thing. So
Well, that's just it. It's not a junk. It still runs, other than a dead battery.
what I would do is this: is go to a title agency and
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Direct me to somebody.
I would go to a title agency, and if they produce the proper credentials to buy it, then then it's probably okay.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. If the title company will do the transfer, then you're good.
Yeah. So if it's up to them to screen the proper credentials, and if they
Well, you know what?
yeah.
You think a notary would know?
No. Well, I think that there's a ton of title.
Yeah, I would go to one of those title companies.
They're all over Veterans Boulevard, up and down Williams. They're all over.
Yeah.
So I would go there, tell them, meet me here, and and let them produce the paperwork they need to produce. They may have a green card, they may have something else, and it's let them be the screener to determine whether they have the requisite information to buy the vehicle.
That's what I'm going to do.
That's probably best. All right, my man. Thanks.
I just want to close with one last thing. LSU does not need to fire Maneri. They need to fire the hitting coach. Y'all have a great day.
There you go. Thank you. It's
Remember, I came home the other day and I told you I was listening to Christian.
And they're talking about Maneri. Well, just real briefly on LSU, I'll give you a quick historical background.
Okay.
When we were at LSU, I was at LSU. You were a little after me. We used to go to games to study in Alex Box because it was so quiet. Nobody went. Nobody cared. We all spread out our books and watch a little baseball. That's how might have 500 people at the game on a good week. And then Skip took it. What Skip did was Skip Ertman. He took LSU and said, not only can this could be a moneymaker, and this could be a major college that's financially lucrative and immensely popular, which it has been. And so he took it from 1985 to 2001 and made it that. Then the other universities started emulating Skip. And so now, we're 21 years later. All the it's not LSU is a victim of its own success because all the other programs have emulated what they did. I mean, some people have called LSU baseball the New York Yankees of college baseball, aside maybe from USC or Arizona State or Texas. So it's tough. I mean, the SEC, it's harder to win the SEC tournament, I think, than the College World Series, or as tough. So, that's we'll see. But man, that's we're so spoiled.
Right.
I mean, heck, for 35 years, I think we've only missed one or two postseason tournaments, and so that's it. But that's an interesting thing. He was talking about the IDs, and we're talking a little bit about sports and sports law. It's very interesting that you have Major League Baseball moving the All-Star game from Atlanta because of the bill,
right?
The Georgia bill. Now, I read the bill as an attorney, and basically, the concern is if you're going to have absentee balloting, you need a photo ID attached. Now, we're not going to debate this here. I'm just going to frame the issue, and then I'm going to talk about my issue. The issue is this: accessibility for voting is people against it versus voter integrity. Now, both have moral underpinnings to both, because if you took it the concept, you want to have voter integrity.
Right.
It's very important, because without voter integrity, you don't have fair elections.
Correct.
But you want to have accessibility, because back, you had poll taxes back before, and you had voter intimidation. But now we're in 2021 where that doesn't, that doesn't occur. Now, politicians will argue about this. They'll probably have arguments all week on WWL regarding this. They'll have meet the press or meet the depressed or whatever, and they'll argue about it. But here's the thing I take issue is in having an open argument about a legitimate political issue. You have Major League Baseball, major corporations saying, if you don't vote this way, we're going to go, we're going to take our All-Star game away from them. That's very undemocratic.
Well, that's intimidation too.
Right. Well, but that's wrong. I mean, that's 100% wrong, because who said that the people who voted for this vote or this law is morally inferior to the people who are against it?
Well,
who makes that criteria?
Well, I think if we're going to do away with I think we're going to do away with identification, then don't make me produce an ID when I get on your plane.
Oh, well, ID to get a rental-car.
Or to get a rental-car or anything. I mean, either you have it across the board or you don't. Well, you can't pick and choose.
Yeah. Well, but, as far as is Major League Baseball think that all the people who voted for the law are like idiots?
Well, that's what they assume.
That's my point. And I think it's very dangerous for pro sports to do that. I think now I'm not going to refer to the Saints because I'll get in trouble. So I'll just talk about pro sports. Pro sports has been irreparably harmed by taking political positions where they didn't have to do it.
Right.
In fact, before it's just pro sports is entertainment.
And it should stay that way.
And entertainment is for people to get away from the political discussions and having it in your face. They want to just see teams competing. They want to see you identify with your city. They want they want it to be a largely positive experience, even if you lose.
Right.
But to have that and to have that, I mean, what they're doing is they're self-destructing, because you have another segment of people who are saying, "I'm done with Major League Baseball."
There's a bunch of them that are saying, "I'm done with the NBA."
Oh, well, the NBA changed its policy. If you notice this year, they stopped. It's almost like they let the players get it out of the system, and now they stopped doing that because they realized it affected the bottom line. It affected the NFL. There's a disenfranchised group of people, and the thing is, you don't need to disenfranchise anybody. And the NFL, Major League Baseball, is not morally superior generally than the electric.
Right.
They can figure it out themselves. If you want to, let people debate the idea, and then let things, happen. Sometimes they get implemented, sometimes you get revoked, repealed, it gets amended. But to claim that because you oppose this bill, you're morally inferior, and that you should be punished for being morally inferior, is a lot more dangerous than any side of that bill.
Well, welcome to what it's happening everywhere across the board these days.
Yeah. Well, and that's bad, because you need to have a full airing of all sides.
Sure.
And you have a full on the ideas, and don't take out the person for saying out the ideas.
And you should be able to have your own ideas. I don't care what side they are, without somebody stopping you.
Absolutely. They did that. They did that about 100 years ago in Russia, and about 70 years ago in Germany, and
they're trying to do it here.
And we need to have a full exposition of all ideas on every political spectrum, and not be morally inferior because you have a certain point of view. Let's go to a break. Doug Sunseri, Michelle Demarest Sunseri, All Things Legal. We'll be right back after this brief time out.
All the audio that matters to you is on Odyssey. Odyssey has podcasts for your passions. Odyssey has thousands of podcasts, like Two Chicks with Charlie and Dixie, The Etceteras with Kevin Durant, and It Was Said with John Meacham, plus your favorite local radio shows on demand. And be sure to binge My Fugitive, a brand new Odyssey original, AUDACY. Find all the podcasts that matter to you in a universe of audio. Odyssey.
The thing about the Home and Auto Bundle from Progressive is that by now you've heard a lot of ads about the Home and Auto Bundle from Progressive. We don't even need the words the Home and Auto Bundle anymore to tell you that you could save big with the ring-tailed lemur from Progressive, or that every hot peach cobbler comes with round-the-clock service and protection. And that's the thing about the goat with magic powers. You've heard a lot of ads about the sushi in Vancouver. See how much you could save with the Home and Auto with the shaman in the jungle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
There's a lot of streaming services out there, each filled with reality TV, comedy, drama, and of course, superheroes. But there's one dedicated entirely to nonfiction TV and documentary films, and that's Curiosity Stream. History, science, nature, we've got it. Space, dinosaurs, big cats, we've got that too. And pretty much anything else you want to explore. Go ahead, add some smart TV to your smart TV with Curiosity Stream. Go to curiositystream.com to sign up and start streaming today.
Know a young innovator 13 to 18 years old who has a big idea to drive positive change in their community? The T-Mobile Foundation and Ashoka want to empower the next generation of changemakers with mentorship, seed funding, and other awesome prizes. Visit T-Mobile.com/changemaker to learn more. No purchase necessary. U.S. Puerto Rico and D.C. Contest runs down to April 2021. See contest website for rules.
You know Diamonds Direct always has the best selection of precious diamonds. But right now, in the aftermath of 2020's challenges, it's better than ever before. With all the disruptions last year, Diamonds Direct stayed strong and aggressive, working with diamond cutters around the world, finding exceptional values, and taking advantage of unique opportunities. The result? A spectacular selection of new, rare, precious diamonds, all shapes, all sizes, from a half carat to 20 carats, and all certified by the GIA, and offered at prices you never thought possible. So make plans now to visit our showroom and see for yourself this expanded selection. Let our expert associates show you multiple choices in the size and shape diamond you're interested in, so you can make the most informed decision with zero pressure. And take comfort in the fact that at Diamonds Direct, whatever happens in the world, we never let anything stop us from our mission to get you the diamond of your dreams. Diamonds Direct on Severn Avenue across from Lakeside Mall.
I'm Erin, and this is my life with California Closets. I purchased a historic home that's over 150 years old. One of the biggest things old houses don't have is closet storage and organization. And in a modern life, you really need to store a lot of things. Working with California Closets was the only way to get exactly what I needed. It really makes my life better. I finally have my dream home, and I couldn't be more thrilled about it.
Schedule your free design consultation today at CaliforniaClosets.com. All the audio that matters to you is on Odyssey. Odyssey has podcasts for your
Okay, we're going after this. No one's on the phone.
thousands
Okay,
of
thank you.
podcasts, like Two Chicks with Charlie and Dixie, The Etceteras with Kevin Durant, and It Was Said with John Meacham, plus your favorite local radio shows on demand. And be sure to binge My Fugitive, a brand new Odyssey original, AUDACY. Find all the podcasts that matter to you in a universe of audio. Odyssey.
All things legal on WWL. Call or text Nico and Sunseri now. 504-260-1870. And remember, you can rewind on the Odyssey app.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sunseri, Michelle Demarest, Sunseri, all things legal. Happy Easter.
Happy Resurrection Day.
Resurrection Day. Yes, that's the biggie.
It is biggie.
It's a lot harder to come out the ground than be born.
Yeah, it is a lot harder to
So
come
Christmas, everybody gets born.
That's right.
But, for Resurrection Day, that's well, it's actually a stone. They had a guy, who was it? Mr. Powell. I sat talking about the resurrection, and they had so many aspects, but they had this big, huge stone that was several tons. And it wasn't actually rolled from the grave. It was like placed. It was placed, like 30 feet away or something. Right. So they'd say, this wasn't, a bunch of, followers rolling that sucker around.
No.
You couldn't pick it up and lift it. Nah. So that's very interesting. So happy Easter. Happy Easter. We're talking a little bit about continuing tutorships and interdictions, and I guess it'd be a good time to talk about special needs trusts, supplemental needs trust. Basically, if you have I don't know what's in the water here, but there just seems like a lot of kids with disabilities. And I mean, I remember in grammar school you had a couple of hyperactive kids, but the nuns took care of them pretty good. But St. Angelo, well, geez, I'm in trouble with that.
You are going to get in trouble with that.
I meant they would discipline them.
Yeah.
Even though I was scared. I was sort of scared of them, most of them. A couple of them nice.
That's not surprising.
Huh?
That's not surprising.
I was scared of Sister Julia because when I was an altar boy, I told you this.
Was this one who fussed at you about the donuts?
Yeah, I used to go to mass. Well, I'd go to mass at the end of 8:45 mass, eat about 7 or 8 donuts, then go to 9:45 mass and come back and eat about 7 or 8 donuts. And
Did you just sleep the rest of the day?
I don't know, man. I think I was just. I don't know. But she got really mad at me.
I bet she did. You were eating like half the parishioners' donuts.
Right. So as she did, I just grabbed 3 more donuts, stuck in my pocket, and left. And that's all. I saw it was in like 4 rooms, so I saw like when she go in one room, I'd go in another, so she for the next week. But anyway, no, St. Angelo was good otherwise. I mean, it was great. I ate 14 donuts on Sunday morning.
Yeah, they were providing a good nutrition at breakfast for you.
But what were we going to talk about?
We're going to talk about special needs.
Special needs trust. How did I start talking about stealing donuts at St. Angelo?
Because you're talking about the nuns.
The nuns. Yeah.
And that they would essentially beat it out of them.
That's right. But now it seems like there's, they got whole departments of special education. But now one of the things is that if you have adult children who have special needs, the biggest fear of a parent is leaving this earth because nobody's going to take care of their children like they would. And one of the things you can do is, and a lot of them are in government services, or most of them, and what Special Needs Trust does is it allows you to put away money for your special needs child or child with a disability without losing government services, and that money could be used to enhance their.
Do you do more supplemental needs trust inside of a will, or do you do more standalone?
If it's sort of interesting because most people who worked in corporate America's biggest asset is their 401k.
Right.
And so one of the things would happen, and just the concept of special needs trust is, if someone's on government services, like you might have, let's say, a 40 or 50-year-old adult child on government services, and they inherit $10,000, let's say, a very modest amount in inheritance, they get knocked off of all government services. They have to show that they spent the money, and they have to get back in line to get to get on. And so, I mean, we had this horrible situation once where someone was with, I think, cerebral palsy, needed 24/7 care. And the parents wrote that they received a $10,000 inheritance. They had 24/7 care. They had PTAC. They had all these in-house care. They got knocked off for all their government services. And then they had to get back online. It took several years before they could.
And I'm sure the 10,000 was blown in a few months.
Probably a matter of a month. So, but with most people's estate, their biggest asset now is people who worked in corporate America. A lot of people who worked in the oil industry up and down the river is their 401k or Entergy. Worked for 30, 40 years in Entergy. And so you have to do basically a supplemental needs trust for IRA. And then there's some parents who might buy a second to die insurance policy from Big Lou or somebody. I don't know. Big Lou. He's on meds too.
He's on meds too.
Or from their insurance agent. And what they'll do is they'll have maybe a $500,000 benefit, $250,000 benefit dedicated to their special needs trial. And when it's the recipient can't be the special needs trial because that would knock them off government services. So you have to create basically an insurance trust or a trust to do that. Or for annuities, you do a special needs supplemental needs trust. And so a lot of people who have those vehicles, you create the trust and then you reference the trust in the will, saying that any money that's coming to the child will go in that trust. Sometimes if they don't have a life insurance trust or they don't have a 401k, then you'll create the trust inside of a will.
Right.
Now, I've just given you about a 2-hour explanation that we normally give in about 3 minutes, but that's probably as succinctly as we can say. But
yeah, so essentially it's just a vehicle by which a child can receive money,
or benefit
without being knocked off of their
government services. Right. And so, and it doesn't, you can put basically as much money as you want in there.
Right.
I mean, there's so it's very I'll say this unofficially, and I'm saying this is anecdotal, but parents with special needs children seem to live longer than parents who don't, only because in that parent's mind, it's like, nobody's going to take care of my child like we will. And my greatest fear in leaving this earth is, what will my child be taken care of?
Right.
Or my adult child be taken care of while I'm gone? And so a lot of times this extra money in the special needs trust will help offset or enhance their lifestyle, especially since they're, the parents or the caretakers aren't going to be there.
Right.
So it's, but there's, a lot of great organizations, if you have children or adult children, Family Helping Families is a great organization to help with, all kinds of navigating the government, because there's a lot of benefits out there that or services that people don't know about.
Yeah, that you just have to figure them out and do your research.
And and we struggle. A lot of times we have to create children are left with inheritances, and we have to do some things.
Some quick tap dancing to try to get it
to get
go around.
Yeah. Now there's two types. Now people say, well, I don't want to do special needs trust because I have to give the money back to the government, and that's not necessarily true, depending on what type of trust. If it's a third party trust, which means you get like inheritance from a third party, or a death benefit from a life insurance policy, or annuity benefit upon death, that would be a third party trust. It comes from someone else. That would not be repayable to the government.
Right.
And you could have an alternate beneficiary. So like if you had $500,000 in a trust and something happens to the special needs beneficiary, they'd have a provision, well, it goes to another family member.
Well, and the problem if you don't set it up ahead of time, what we've had a child inherit, and then we try to come in the back door, and it winds up being a first party trust because they already received the proceeds or received the money, and so where it could have been a third party trust, it becomes a first party trust.
Most of the first party trusts that we do is, let's say you had a person with a disability who got in a car wreck. They were a passenger, and they got a settlement, for X.
I do a lot of them for child support.
Yeah,
because child support can be owed to somebody over the age of 24
okay,
if you
yeah.
have disability.
Well, tell. A lot of people don't know that parents who have children who
are considered disabled under the laws of Louisiana, child support does not end. It continues, and dependent upon the disability, it can continue for life. And so I'll do special needs trust for that, so that those monies go into a special needs trust, and that does become a first party trust. But if you just limit the amount of money that's put in there, you just don't put anything else in there. You're gonna, and you use that every month. You're not gonna wind up with a nest egg that you're giving back to the government.
Yeah. So those are, if you have children who have those issues, ADHD, autism, some type of physical disability, some type of impairment, they're on government services, they're on SSI. It's probably very important to make those plans. And there's a little to do, but if you do it, it does alleviate some of your fear as a parent about your children being taken care of. All right, let's go to a break. Doug Sunseri, Michelle Demarest Sunseri, All Things Legal. We'll be right back after this brief time out.
It's all happening. Bruce from Covington, Raina from Metairie, and Susan from New Orleans each won $1,000 just for listening to WWL. You can win big money too in the free cash contest. Every weekday, every hour between 7 a.m. and 6 p.m., you have the chance to win $1,000 in our Odyssey National Cash Contest. Listen for the code word right before the top of the hour news. Then text it to 72881. The free cash contest starts again Monday on WWL.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-568-2790. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance to buy $1 million of affordable term life for you. All you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-568-2790. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-568-2790. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-568-2790. 800-568-2790.
Know a young innovator 13 to 18 years old who has a big idea to drive positive change in their community? The T-Mobile Foundation and Ashoka want to empower the next generation of changemakers with mentorship, seed funding, and other awesome prizes. Visit T-Mobile.com/changemaker to learn more. No purchase necessary. U.S., Puerto Rico, D.C. Contest runs down through April 2021. See contest website for full rules. And you're on. The grass is growing, so it's time to get mowing with Evergreen Tractor. Listen up. There are only two types of mowers on the market, the kind you can't wait to use and the kind you can't wait to be done with. So take command of your lawn with the all-new Kubota Commander, the zero-turn mower everyone is getting behind. Starting at just $3,969 from Evergreen Tractor, this beauty comes with powerful features, a smooth ride, and a 4-year, 300-hour factory warranty. There's even optional LED headlights for when you're mowing while racing the sun. In addition, Kubota has low-rate long-term financing available for well-qualified buyers. The place to go for your new Kubota Commander is Evergreen Tractor. Servicing the Gulf South for over 39 years, Evergreen Tractor is Kubota's elite parts and service dealer on the North Shore, one of Kubota's highest honors. This offer is only good while supplies last, so head on over to Evergreen Tractor, 1017 Highway 190 Bypass in Covington, or shop 24/7 at evergreentractor.com.
Hey, Baton Rouge, we want your stuff. DependableStorage.com.
Have you ever wanted to learn a new language like French, Spanish, or Russian, but thought it would be too difficult and time-consuming? Then go to Babbel.com and try it for free. Babbel works because it's built
going live after this one.
It teaches you everyday practical conversations that you will actually use. In 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. Babbel uses a modern conversation-based technique that makes language engaging, fun, and memorable. It starts by teaching you words and phrases.
So nobody's
then
on, right?
Sentences gradually get
Phone's
more
clear.
complex.
Beg your pardon?
Phone's clear, right?
Short conversations.
Everybody's out hunting Easter eggs.
Created by language experts who use the spaced repetition method to help you learn quickly and remember what you learned. With Babbel, you can speak a new language. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
I think they have more info.
Now, more All Things Legal, underwritten by Nico and Sunseri Law Firm. All advice given and opinions shared are solely those of attorneys Albert Nico and Doug Sunseri. Back to WWL.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sunseri, Michelle Demarest Sunseri, All Things Legal, on our Easter edition of All Things Legal. Now, we had Eugene text in on our Facebook, and the essence of the text is, I was referencing our cat. And, I'm not a real animal lover.
Just
Is
put it mildly.
that mildly? I mean,
you take very good care of them.
I do. Yeah, I'm mature. I don't, but I'm not a big. But he was wondering, does our cat? I think I'm reading this in between the lines. Could our cat identify as a rabbit on Easter?
I don't think our cat's a trans rabbit.
A trans rabbit?
No,
he's not. Okay.
No, I think she's a cat.
She's happy being a cat.
She's happy being a cat.
She's secure being a cat.
She's very secure in her catness.
Even on Easter.
Even on Easter.
Because the cats are they're like the more you ignore them, the better they like you. Which is, maybe I'll start liking the thing. It'll leave me alone.
That cat, you are the cat's favorite person.
Oh, jeez. I tell you, when I like the cat best? When it's outside. And staying outside. All right. Cat law. Okay. I got in trouble. I'll tell you. I shouldn't say it. I remember I went about 30 years ago when I had a little flip mouth. I was sitting in court. Should I say this?
What?
I don't know.
Do I know this story?
Well, I was sitting in court. And, okay, I was young, so people get mad at me. I'm just relating my immaturity.
Okay.
Well, there was someone sitting next to me in court, and we were just all striking up a conversation. This was before COVID, where we could sit next to each other
and communicate. And everybody could have their own opinions.
And have their own opinions. But she had said, what kind of law you did? And I told her, I said, what kind of law you did? She goes, animal rights law. And I'm like, okay, I'm just out of school. And I'm like, that's easy. They don't have any rights. We got dominion over them. I was just sort of kidding.
Yeah, she didn't think.
No.
Was she there? Was she there on behalf of the rights of a cat or
something? No, she was doing something to make money in between. Practicing something about law to make money. Also, too, since it's Easter, Katie, our daughter, was stuck in the elevator last night.
Did she get out?
She read our text. Oh, there's that cat in the window. Get away. She read a text at 8:04.
Last night?
This morning.
Oh.
Like, are you out the elevator? And she read it. And she hadn't.
Maybe she's not out.
And I said, are you out? And she hadn't responded.
Maybe she's not out.
So, well, if I guess at the end of the show, if she's not out, I might tell people to call before their appointments tomorrow to see if she.
Well, no, she shows up today.
So we're hoping Katie's out.
Or at least I hope they served her breakfast in there.
Right. Well, if
she's
still there, we're going to have a discussion on response time in Orleans Parish first responders if she's still in there next week. We have a great topic. So do we? I guess we talk something fun. This is Easter. I don't know if people want to get real serious or not on law. One thing I do want to say.
What?
I've been on. I think I'll be on every day on Tommy's show, the morning show, for the Derek Chauvin trial.
You're doing a great job on that too.
Well, I sort of got some interesting feedback. I'm just going on there, looking at the scoreboard, and saying what I think what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not my opinion. My opinion is to who's making good points and not good points.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not. I don't have a dog in that hunt.
Right.
But it's sort of an interesting issue because the more I read on it, the more I think there'll be a conviction, at least for negligent homicide or manslaughter 1 or 2. Because I think the key to that case was the fact that, and I get the part about resisting arrest. He's a big guy. Was obviously under the influence, and it's correct. And it's not. It's a little different than the split second conditions, like the Sterling's, the one in Baton Rouge. Police officer had just a second to make a decision, and you can't second guess that,
right?
Because somebody's reaching down there, or non-compliant. That's one thing. Now, one thing that the issue is this is it's not the big racial issue that everybody's making it to be. I mean, people have other agendas. All the issue is in the courtroom is the appropriate use of force when someone resists arrest. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Everybody, a lot of people, all sides want to make it about something else. On the law enforcement side, they'll say, "Well, he resisted arrest, so therefore anything could happen to him."
Right.
That's on one side, which is wrong. The other side was saying, that this is all about, a societal issue that this manifests all the time. And I said, no, that's not the issue in this case. The issue is the appropriate use of force when you resist arrest. And I think the biggest thing from a scoreboard standpoint, why he's probably going to lose, is he has his own fellow first responders testifying against him.
Yeah.
Got a supervisor, got EMTs.
How many people were on the scene? Because I didn't watch the video.
They had quite a few, and I think the people in the scene were like, "Okay, you got him down." I think the two things that's going to convict him is his action after he became non-responsive. One, they could have turned him over, let him breathe when he was non-responsive, and two, that they continued to exert the pressure on his neck after he was unconscious. And I think those are the factors that's going to convict him.
Yeah.
And the defense really doesn't have a lot to work with it. But my only thing saying this is I don't have a dog when I'm commenting.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the scoreboard. I mean, everybody's got personal opinions about everything, but this is
when do they anticipate that the prosecution will rest?
I think I don't know. The other thing too, and I used the example. I said, when Bum Phillips had Earl Campbell, he used to run them, run them all, and because that was his guy. And the same thing if you got prosecution, if you got a videotape like that, from a strategic standpoint, you just run it.
Yeah, they're running it every day.
All angles, and that's it, because that's that's a piece of evidence that's and I would say if they didn't have that videotape, they probably wouldn't have a case.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they would not be. But all right. So let's go to break. Doug Sunseri, Michelle Demarest Sunseri, All Things Legal. We'll be right back after this brief timeout.
The new 2021 Toyota Camry is hard to describe, at least with words. But maybe we could do it using music.
Okay, we have Fred on the line from Greensboro.
It's sporty as heck. So let's try something with a little energy.
Greensburg,
yeah.
All right. This thing has a 301 horsepower.
And you should have about
better, but maybe something more aggressive.
something like
6 minutes.
6 minutes.
It screams aggressive. Whoa. Too aggressive. Try something less terrifying, but still with energy. Something, about the Camry's great tech.
Huh?
Yeah, this isn't working.
2.5 minutes.
The new 2021 Camry. Words can't do it justice. And neither can music, apparently.
Right now, get $1,250 customer cash, or qualified buyers can get 0% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2021 Camry. Toyota, let's go places. See packages and options at Toyota.com for feature availability. Visit buyatoyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and 5/3/21.
At Mike Brenner Injury Attorneys, we know that car wrecks don't take the weekends off, and neither do we. If you've been hurt in a wreck over the weekend, don't wait until Monday to get the help you need right now. We have people standing by, ready to take your call, ready to give you free advice, and ready to help you get the medical attention you need. You don't have to wait until Monday to call an attorney. In a wreck, need a check? Call me, Mike Brander. We're the 24/7 injury attorneys, and we're available to get you the help you need right now.
Mike Brander's the one. Call 345-1111.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-568-2790. Big Lou will find a term life policy even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-568-2790. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-568-2790. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-568-2790. 800-568-2790.
Know a young innovator 13, 18 years old who is here we go. To drive positive change in their community? The T-Mobile Foundation and Ashoka want to empower the next generation of changemakers with mentorship, seed funding, and other awesome prizes. Visit T-Mobile.com/changemaker to learn more. No purchase necessary. U.S. Puerto Rico and D.C. Contest runs down to April 8, 2021. See contest website for rules.
All things local on WWL, AM, FM,
Hey, we are.
and the Odyssey app. To connect with Doug Sunseri and Albert Nico, 504-260-1870.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sunseri, Michelle Demarest, Sunseri, all things legal. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's go to Fred out of Greenberg. I know where Greenberg is. On all things legal. Nice up there.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you? Happy Easter to you.
Happy Easter, Fred.
Okay, I have a money question. If I saved money in my home for over 50 years and then decided that I wanted to put it in the bank, what kind of issues would I run into?
Depending on, I mean, you could put it in there. You know, anything over, I think, $8,000 or $10,000 is recorded to the IRS. It's no issue to it.
Well, I'm saying it'll be over 10,000, much more than that. But
is it six figures? More than 100?
No, maybe right up 100.
I don't think that's a big problem. I mean, I don't think they would have a problem with that. I mean, a lot of payrolls have that. Or cash. I mean, not as much. In the older days, they would. I don't think that's not a big deal.
Would I have to prove to them that I saved it over the 50 years or something?
No. I mean, no, I don't think so. I mean, if they ask you, you say, "Hey, it's just I've saved it I want to put it in the bank." No, I don't think that would be a problem. I'm not aware.
Would it be taxable again?
No, it wouldn't be taxable. I mean, the IRS may record it. I will say this: went back. I know when I did. We used to do the licensing for the Super Bowl and the Sugar Bowl. We used to license to a lot of the French Quarter businesses in the 90s, and a lot of times we get paid, in cash, and we just bring it to the bank. I mean, it's no big deal. I think you can do it. I think you'd be more concerned about when you go leave your house to the bank. Make sure you're secure. And Fred, you're not from Greenberg. We're going to say you're from Shreveport to throw anybody off, so they won't know you got $100,000 in your house. All right. So that's Fred from Shreveport.
I'm from Tuscaloosa.
There you go.
Yeah, Fred from Tuscaloosa, an Alabama fan. All right. You're okay, my man, Fred. All right. Thanks for the call. All right. That's
an interesting call.
Yeah. I mean, we do have that. We do have when you in the French Quarter, a lot of those shops that you used to do business with cash. I think now it's pretty much most of it electronic.
Right.
And I know when we filed suit one time, and because one of the businesses didn't pay their licensing, and they came in with 4 or 5 bags, and they dropped it on the table. We counted it, and
there you go.
Put it in the bank. So no big deal. So we got a couple of minutes. Now you're like amazing. You run around. You're doing commercials. You're doing parties, putting presents out. You're getting coordinating. Crawfish delivery. So I mean, y'all, you women are something, man. How do y'all do it?
We got about 10 arms.
You do. You got about 10 arms, and
I do have help.
Who?
You. My sister's picking up the crawfish.
Yeah, you do have, but you're like the orchestra. You like the conductor. You got it all going here. So we got. What we do. Yeah, so we got crawfish, right?
Crawfish and jambalaya. And if Katie got out of the elevator, we have homemade meatballs. But if
Does
she's
she?
still in the
Oh,
elevator.
now that would really bum me out if she didn't get out the elevator. Now, okay, if she's still in the elevator, can we send somebody to get the feed balls and pick it up and then bring it back?
We're possibly good.
So,
That's not true, Katie.
No, we're
We'd
just.
rather you than your meatballs.
Well, but it's not an either-or question. She can bring them both. Well, who made it an either-or question?
You were so bad.
These false choices here. Jeez.
Oh, you're funny.
But anyway, all right. But we we just hope everybody has a wonderful and safe Easter.
Mm-hmm.
And well, I'm gonna safe. I mean, I know you're gonna listen to the news and they're gonna tell you have fun for Easter. Okay,
right.
When you listen to the news break, have fun. All right, that's most important.
It is.
And don't let all this other stuff get in the way. Just enjoy your family and
I know, because like last Easter, I was just remembering, it was just us here. Everybody was quarantined.
I tell you what, one place I would not want to be.
Where?
At an Easter party of an employee of the CDC. Huh?
I don't think they're probably having any. Well, they probably bend the rules.
You think?
For themselves?
You think they say it's good for everybody else but us?
Do you really think they're not doing that?
I don't know.
Are you serious?
I don't know.
Huh.
Well, if they're really serious, I mean, there's look.
Listen,
we want you to show virtue by denying yourself a good time with your family. That's sometimes what I hear between the lines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure it is. I will.
But my point being, have fun for Easter.
It is.
Enjoy your family.
That's right.
Might be some of your family members last Easter.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. So you got to enjoy them and just celebrate the big day.
That's right.
But so that's good. And I think that's almost a wrap.
That's a wrap.
We got a few. We got a new out. We got Odyssey is the new. They was bought.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they're not Intercom anymore. They're Odyssey. So
when did that happen?
That happened last Monday. The big switch.
Oh, I didn't know that.
If you read my emails, you would know that.
You sent me an email on that?
No, I did not. So. But thank you so much for responding and doing a radio show and arranging for our Easter party at the same time. That's amazing.
Welcome. Happy to do it.
And we just wish everybody out there to have a wonderful and blessed Easter. Enjoy the day, enjoy the family, enjoy every aspect of it. We'll see you next week on All Things Legal. Be good and be blessed, and see you next week.